Hi everyone, this is Jonah with Green Iowa AmeriCorps and welcome to day 2 of our winter break camp. Today we're going to be talking about wind and we're focusing on migration and migration pathways for animals. So what is migration? Generally speaking, migration is animals moving from one place to another, usually because of changing weather, like if it's changing into winter, or because of food availability so they have enough to eat. So what types of animals migrate? As it turns out, all sorts of animals migrate. You have mammals, birds, insects, reptiles, and even fish can migrate. And they migrate to all sorts of different places all around the world. The main ways that animals tend to migrate is through swimming, walking, or flying, which is what we're going to focus on today. When most people think of migration, they think of birds. Lots of bird species migrate, usually as seasons change into winter or summer. Some birds don't mind cold weather, though, like owls, so they can stay put year-round. Some birds migrate short distances, like bluebirds, so sometimes you can still see them in the winter if the weather isn't too bad. And some species migrate thousands of miles, like sandpipers, who fly all the way from the Arctic down into South America every single year. Another flying animal is the bat. Some species of bat will migrate when the weather gets cold, but a lot of species choose to hibernate through the winter instead. When bats do migrate, they fly in huge groups of thousands of bats. Insects are another group of flying animals that migrate. We know that a lot of dragonflies will migrate across the United States when the summer ends, and monarchs are a famous example of migration. Millions of monarch butterflies will migrate down to Mexico every year and spend the winter there. We still don't know that much about insect migration, and there's still a lot to learn about it. So some of the ways that we study migration includes putting tags or bans on individuals, like putting bans on birds. When they're caught or seen again, we can figure out where they've been. We do the same thing with monarchs. Once we learn more about migration, we can make maps that show where they go during the year, like this map on the right here. This map on the right is for barn swallows, and you can see that they spend the summer in the United States before making a long trip down to South America for the winter every single year. We see a lot of migration in Iowa because we're near the Mississippi Flyway. Migrating birds like to use the Mississippi River and other nearby rivers to help guide themselves south every year. Some of our birds will stay here the entire year, but a lot of them change during the winter because they migrate. When you're outside, pay attention to the birds you see now and see which ones are the same and which ones are different in the summer. Sadly, humans are having a lot of negative impacts on migrations. Migrating animals will run into windows and windmills because they can't see them. Climate change is causing problems too, with some migrating species arriving too late in the season. This causes problems because they aren't taking best advantage of the habitat and food resources that are available. Some of the stuff you can do to help migrating animals is to plant native flowers in your yard for bugs and birds. You can also set up a bird feeder, and you can make a bat box for migrating or hibernating bats. So thanks for watching, everybody. Please check out the other materials for today and have a great rest of your week.